Hey, today is January 9th, 2018, and I was gonna make a video yesterday evening. I said I was going to at the end of my other video, but I'm sorry. Something really amazing happened, which is personal, so I won't say what it was on these videos because I don't know exactly who's gonna watch them in the future. And it's just not the right time to say it. But um yeah, I'm not gonna talk to you about that. I'm gonna talk to you about what it means to be a good person. Okay. So, um it's foggy outside right now, and it's cold. And there are 7 days until I go back to. And I have, I've been so inspired to. When it comes to dance, I've been so inspired. I've been having dreams and looking at all these different contemporary choreography things, and I'm really excited to get started. But we're not here to talk about that right now. I'm here to talk about what it means to be a good person. Okay, so let me get down to it. Um, Being a good person doesn't mean you do good things. A lot of bad people, a lot of evil people do good things in life. That's not what being a good person is all about. Um, the world works on energy, and that is both philosophical and quite literally. It was Nikola Tesla who said that if you want to understand the universe, you must understand it in terms of energy and vibration. Matter, what appears to be solid matter, is just vibrating particles, vibrating energy, condensed energy, and it's vibrating. That's what we are. That's what everything is. Even thoughts. Now, there's different forms of energy, obviously, and that's why you have the different things in the universe. But everything is essentially just energy, and that's scientific. But now let's talk about social and philosophical and spiritual in terms of positive and negative energy. The law of attraction is that what comes into your life and what comes to you is what you put out there. If you have negative thoughts, then you're going to attract a whole bunch of negativity to your life. If you have pessimistic outlooks, if you're overly anxious, if you're too worried about something, if you, or even if you have bad thoughts about other people, if that's not really your place to do, but if you do, like if you disagree with somebody, and instead of just saying, I disagree, and then turning away and moving on, you want to try to put down whatever they're doing, or you want to try to forgive me, and you want to try to talk bad about them. That's negative thoughts. That's negative, words, and that's gonna draw negativity to you. It doesn't matter whether or not you do good things. I mean, you can give to the poor, you can rescue a cat out of a tree, but if you have negative thoughts and you dwell in negative places inside of here and inside of here, inside your heart, then negative things are gonna come into your life, and you're not gonna be what I call a good person. So let me define that. What does it mean to be a good person? Well, a good person. I'm going to start out with this quote, this old quote that has been said, but not really understood for centuries. Good things happen to good people. And people look at life and say, innocent people die all the time. She gave to the poor. Why are these bad things happening to her? So forth and so on. Well, what you do on the surface may look good, but you got to ask yourself a couple of questions. One question is, what thoughts are going through your head? What are you really thinking? What do you dwell on every day? Where is your heart? And then number two, what is your reason for doing the good things that you do in life? What's your motivation behind the action? And I went to Bible study with my grandma. It's not something I do often, but I wanted to go with her. Maybe I wanted to go with her the week before last week, so I just went with her on Wednesday morning. And what the guy said, he was just a church member. He talked instead of the pastor. And what he said, I liked what he said. He said, gave this example of the birth of Jesus. And he asked that question, what's the motivation behind what you do? And this illustrates the point of how bad people do good things too. When Jesus was born, according to the story in Matthew, the wise men sought him out. They looked for him. They found him. They went to him. And, and the King Herod, the one who ordered Jesus' death, did the same thing. He sought out Jesus and he sent his emissaries to go find him. And the point that he was trying to make was that finding Jesus, looking for him in our lives, the wise men and the King Herod's men both looked after Jesus. They looked for him. But what was their motivation? That's the difference that, he was trying to say. The wise men wanted to see Jesus, to give him gifts and to worship him because they knew who he was. King Herod also knew who he was, but he wanted to find him to go kill him. So that's an important question. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the true reason behind it? Now, good people. A good person does not dwell on negativity. They dwell on positivity. They try to find out how they can spread positivity in the world. We all know that bad things happen in the world, but bad things don't always happen to those who do not draw that negativity to themselves. And of course, there are often, things we don't see coming. There are unexpected things, but for the most part, if you put out positive energy is going to come back to you. And in many cases, when you find someone who is a good person, who thinks positive thoughts, who stays positive, who tries to help people because they genuinely want to spread love, peace, understanding, harmony in the world, when you find a person like that, and then something tragic happens to them, I'm not talking about a person's brother dies or their sister dies or whatever, because if you're a good person, you don't have any control over what your loved ones do. If you're on the right path and someone you love is not on the right path, then if they suffer because of their actions, that's not your fault. And though it does hurt, that's still not something bad that happened to you. It happened to them. It hurts you because it happened to someone you love, but it's still, their actions led to that. Your actions didn't lead to that negative thing that happened to them. But when you take a person like that, a good person, and something negative actually happens to them, as in they were in a car accident and got paralyzed, or they got shot in a school shooting, survived but with major injuries, or they died in some kind of freak accident. Whenever you have those situations, I am willing to bet 99% of the time that good person, there was a sign given to them. There was a sign that told them not to do that. I probably shouldn't do this right now. I probably shouldn't go. They get this feeling, and it's quite natural. We all get these feelings in life when we should or shouldn't do something. And they get this feeling inside of them that says, I probably shouldn't do it. And maybe if they're very spiritual or something, then they can see signs in, I don't know, the clouds or something, or animals walked by, and boom, that was a sign to them that they understood that they shouldn't do something. But then, despite that feeling of, I shouldn't do this, they do it anyway. And when they do it anyway, they didn't listen to the signs, and the bad thing happened. That's what happens most of the time when you get a good person who doesn't listen to that inner voice or those signs around them. But if you think positive thoughts, if you focus on loving yourself, then good things will happen. I'm going to make a second video right now because this one's about to reach 10 minutes. So this is part 1. There's going to be part 2. I love you. Enjoy 2018. And I'll see you in part 2. Okay, the cursor just got on the stop button. Here we go. Goodbye. Into part 2.